Hello everyone and welcome to Moogle Go Rounad Radio episode 164. We're back! Again! Technically I did the intro 3 times, but nobody will know that because I hit stop record instead of started talking because I'm half asleep. Anyway, we're back! Again, after 2 weeks. I just want to apologise. I know I've been uploading the podcast really late on Podbean. I'm sorry about that. But make sure you can catch it live on Moogle Go Rounad Radio on Twitch. So I will try to get this up earlier than last time. So again, I am sorry about that. But joining me as always is Paul. Hey, Paul.
Hello, I am Paul. I'm a quite sleepy Paul, but I'm Paul. Nonetheless, my food is slowly wearing off like I'm in raid. So,
I mean, I ate at 1 p.m, so yay, I'm hungry.
What do you eat dinner? And don't tell me that 1 p.m. is dinner time, because that's not dinner time.
Well, I went to Baxter's and got a roast dinner there, so...
Okay.
Like, technically it was. And I had some...
Thursday?
Because I had to go into town, and Baxter's in town, so I'm like, well, while I'm in town... Oh, I'm thinking of getting back to KFC tomorrow, so I can't say much.
Are you getting your hair cut?
No, I've been soon, but no.
I really thought, I've been sued. Huh?
Wait, what?
Huh? I thought I heard you say I've been sued, but no, you said I'll be soon.
Yeah, it'll be soon. But it's mainly because I couldn't get food delivery until Saturday, from the shops. And I don't have anything in, so yeah, being sued again. But anyway, Paul, we should introduce our amazing guest. People may know him on Twitter as one of the kindest and coolest people I've met on Twitter. Because I've known people on Twitter, but most of the people I've known on Twitter I've met outside of Twitter or I've met through other people. But I don't know where I found this person. I just saw his tweet one day, and I've been really enjoying everything he brings to the community, his thoughts on the game, and all the different things that he does. So we've got to introduce the wonderful and amazing roegamaniac brother.
Well, let me tell you something, Chili. I'm very happy to be here along with Paul and everyone, all your roegamaniacs right here watching us tonight, brother.
My name is Rogue Rogan. I try to be as positive as possible. I think my headset just broke. Oh my god, I can't believe this just happened. 1 second, Chili, I'm so sorry.
He brother too hard, man. He brother too hard.
He's too strong.
His headset came off.
I slammed my hand to the cable and almost broke it, but it's all good. There we go.
You talk about that, Rob Z. I did that an entire hour, I think, on a recent stream where I'm like talking the entire time. Yeah, I even said, even the roaster's headset couldn't handle the power of Roegamania. Ow. I need to stop doing this because I just hurt myself.
So, doing the voice of Roguester also hurts me a lot. So, imagine doing a 3-hour stream as a Rogan doing that voice.
It's not, no. Did you get
that? I did that on last. I did that on last December for the not marathon charity, along with John and Snark. And the next day, I couldn't even talk.
It's no worry, cool, brother.
It's good to stay in character. Good to stay in character about what cost. What cost?
So, before we get into anything on the show, can I ask you what you do and what stuff you like to talk about on Twitter and stuff?
So basically, let's do a little. It's a little bit. It's time for a little story time with the Roguester. So, how can I start? It all happened in LunarCon last year. I decided to, cosplay out Hulk Hogan and start saying on the shout chat in Final Fantasy 14, trans rights, they matter, LGBTQ plus, the rights matter. That got a lot of attention to them. For some reason, my entire Twitter exploded and started to get super popular. And as Rogue Rogan, I took it upon myself to say, hey, in this world, there's too much darkness, too much, bad things happening all the time. People are all the time depressed. Let me start sharing some, positive vibes out there, that even though in the times where everything's super dark and doesn't look good, we have hope. We can still, fight and reach our goals. It can be done. We just have to work really hard and endure and learn from our, bad experiences and grow as human beings. So that's the main purpose of my Twitter account. That's to spread as much positivity as possible, because I know that things don't look good, right? But it's always something, that we can work to strive to make our lives the best we can, So that's pretty much how the whole started with the whole roegamaniac. And I do know some people have criticized me, and I do understand that I'm portraying a guy, the actual wrestler, who's not necessarily a good person. I understand that, but I always tell people I'm not Hulk Hogan. I am Rogan. I'm better than him. So this is basically a character. Yeah,
I will say, although he has a bad image nowadays, as someone who is an 80s and 90s kid, it was different back then as well. Anyway, like anyone remembers him from back then, it wasn't like it is now. So
yeah, and another thing is that what I did with Rogan is basically take who I am in real life and ump it up 100%. So what you see there is basically me, but a little bit more unhinged,
So basically me when I'm streaming, like I'm me, but trust me, I'm a lot more me on stream than I am me in real life. Like I will talk more in stream and I will interact with people, but if you got me outside in real life with people, I would be sat in the corner going, yes, I say that. This is the man who took random drugs from strangers in Vegas, but still.
Pretty much.
By the way, do not take random drugs from people in Vegas. Don't be me.
In any other state, it's fine.
Sometimes it can lead to them. Sorry, Paul.
That's fine.
Especially when you go to tell people who you took them from and nobody found them ever again. Someone says, especially what you got to do to make an impact online, being loud gets you noticed. It's true. People notice controversy or loudness. That's kind of the things they notice.
Oh yeah, they notice a lot of controversies. But I'm trying to do with the big following I'm having right now, just trying to be as positive as I can and spread, good vibes, good messages out there.
And you play a lot of PvP with John is Dead, right? And Snark.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm playing PvP. I play with Brian. I'm playing with Snark. I'm playing with John. We even have a little group together. Sometimes John has these fantastic ideas. Air Force One with the Dragoons dropping on people. You guys should check that out. He's also did one with the Machinist.
And there's an event coming up soon this weekend, right? By the time this goes live on the Podbean, the event will happen. But I think there's an event with the PvP team involved in Frontlines and getting points or something. The highest, submit your scores, right?
I mean, I believe so. I haven't checked because of work, but I think John may give you more about that detail because I'm not really sure what's going to happen this weekend. I've been completely disconnected the past 2 weeks.
Okay.
Same, but no fault of my own.
Oh,
I've been busy with stuff and things, so I've been trying to keep an eye on things, but I'm busy with stuff and things I can't talk about. Yes, I did it with you too as well, John. I did a Dragoon thing as well, on the 16th. Yeah. My favourite hand is still mending. You're right, Wobsy. I guess I shall give a little health update. My cast has been removed. I now don't have a cast, but I have a cool little scar now where my wrist is. It's quite big, actually. It's about an inch or so.
Oh, wow.
So, for anyone that doesn't know and has just turned in for the first time, during December, I fell over on the ice in the middle of a road, actually right in front of a car as well. So, that's the drama. Anyway, though, me being me and my brain being dumb, the first thing I did was I went to the newsagents over the road. I finished walking across the road, and then I opened up my phone and it said, "Can't stream tonight, fell over."
No, it weren't fell over. It was I collapsed.
Oh no, I collapsed.
Like,
Car stream car collapsed.
Car stream just collapsed on the road. Not, oh, I slipped over, fell down. It was, I've collapsed.
Yeah, I collapsed. Look, I just literally walked to... I got up and then realised I should say that I'm not streaming, so I wasn't thinking, okay? But, so anyway, then I went to the takeaway.
Yeah, on the bright side, you healed up. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I've healed up. That's all that matters. So, yeah.
Just a little adventure to add there to your history.
Yay. Anyway, we should talk about some Final Fantasy 14 stuff because we are a Final Fantasy 14 based podcast. I promise, honest, kind of. And I'm sorry, I know you're here for positivity, but there's a few things I want to be a bit angry about this episode. There's a few things I'm happy about, but there's a few things I'm sad about. We'll start with one of the things. What's that? Sorry.
No, sorry. Keep going. Sorry.
The first thing I want to bring up is the Puma X Final Fantasy 14 collection. I don't know if you've seen this.
I had a lovely conversation with Mione and all that in one of our Discords. So we were enjoying it.
Roegamaniac, what's your thoughts on this? Sorry.
I saw it. I saw the shoes and all that. They look pretty nice. They look pretty cool. But I wouldn't buy them. And let me tell you why. I think for a little bit extra, you can buy yourself a custom-made Final Fantasy 14 shoes that may end up looking better than the Puma ones. And I don't like the idea of buying those type of shoes because even if you try to find them online, scalpers are going to buy them and you have to buy them at a ridiculous price. And I do believe that also like different regions, different shoes or something like that. I'm not sure.
Well, that's what I'm annoyed about. Like, I like the look of the shoes. Guess what? They're not sold here.
Yeah, that's dumb.
None of the shoes are sold here. So that's what frustrates me. Like we get a hoodie, sweatpants, a t-shirt, bags, a bucket hat. They're all cool, but I wanted the shoes. I like the look of the Fat Cat shoes. They look really cool to me. But we're not getting those, so I'm sad.
The whole region locking, like that's basically region lock, right? There's basically this region won't get the same things as the other region. If you want it, you have to pay double the premium price. That's very unfair, and there's no real reason to do that.
And yes, Wobbsy is the pizza emote all over again because we still don't have the pizza emote here. One day, brother.
Pizza emote? I don't even want to talk about that one.
Look, as long as we don't have to do something stupid like we did the first year, I'm happy. I don't know if you were ever around for when you got the, I think it was the Butler outfit and the Fat Chocobo mount.
Was that during the Stormblood, like late Stormblood?
I think so, yeah, around then.
Yeah, because I did get the Fat Chocobo mount, but I don't remember if it was something with Amazon, something like that.
No, for America it was Amazon.
Yeah.
For Europe, we didn't have something simple as Amazon or anything like that. No, we had to go out and buy 3 different magazines and take not just that, but take a picture of the code of the free magazines, and then email the picture of the codes to the magazine.
Oh my god, that's so 1990s.
It was a lot of effort.
Way too much effort. That man.
Yeah, the white. I think it was the white Fat Chocobo, Wobbsy. The white Fat Chocobo. So hey, at least we still have our exclusive food in England. Still, okay. We have that, I guess.
What, fish and chips? No, the Americans took that.
No, I have.
I know there was a terrible joke.
Yeah, there was a pop-up Fantasy 14 event where if you went, you got some Moogle biscuits and Fat Chocobo chocolate. So we had those. Yeah, you go us. But anyway, exclusive stuff starts. Bring it to everyone. Everyone wants all this stuff.
I mean, to be fair, like the shoes, yeah, they look all right, but they don't do them in my size. Again, I have really big feet. And health update, I can actually get shoes on now. So, hell yeah, I can get like my normal shoes on, and I got a new pair of shoes after I had a mouse infestation into my house. I now have some new shoes, so I'm happy. But these shoes don't go up to my size. And we checked, we had a look, and no, they do not go up to my size. I'm a 17, and I think in America I'm an 18, an American size, and in UK I'm a 17. I have pretty big feet, so not having them in all sizes kind of a damper on things. But again, I would just get a custom pair where I could probably have like my favorite job on it and stuff, and it'll probably be like less cheap, like cheaper.
Who wants Moogle Go Round branded shoes for the 7th anniversary? Do you want me to do that? Do you want me to get Moogle Go Round branded shoes for our 7th anniversary coming up next month? I'll do it.
Step on my face.
Okay, I'm going to tweet it out.
Do you want to put something in me?
Do you want to be inside me?
Oh my.
I think, to be fair, I love the bags. Again, I do love like backpacks and stuff. I think the backpacks are very cool. My favorite is definitely the crossbody bag. I think, like, because obviously I go to the gym a lot now, so having like one of those so I can stick like a water bottle in it, my keys, like wallet. I think that's pretty cool. Cheap-ish. I say cheap-ish. It's still like 35 quid, 50 quid for a backpack. A bucket hat is 40 fucking quid for a fucking hat.
I just noticed it's not called a baseball cap; it's called a dad cap.
It's called a dad cap. It's not a baseball cap no more. It's a dad
they're
hat.
overpriced.
Dad cap. They're so overpriced. But then again, that's what I get for Puma. Like the hoodie, the gaming hoodie is 110 quid. 110 pounds.
Nah, screw that.
For a fucking hoodie. Now, do you know how many Celtic jerseys I could get with that? Well, 2, but they're still good. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, the white hoodie's nice, where it's just got the logo, like the Meteor logo. Sweatpants, I don't know. I like the gaming tee because it has like a little fat cat and like with all the jobs on it. But that is cool. That is pretty dope. But everything else, overpriced.
Isn't the official Final Fantasy jacket that has a Paladin logo on the back cheaper than all that?
I think so, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And it looks cooler, in my opinion. Like, I don't mind the gaming hoodie, but to me, it's a bit too much. Like, there's a bit too much on it for me. Like, it's a bit too over-designed for me. But it does have loads of fat cats. So.
Yeah, it's cute. It has, like, Moogles, fat cats. I don't know what else. It's very hard to see. It's a very messy, and I mean very messy, hoodie.
I think Messi and Square Enix goes hand to hand right now.
Yep.
It's funny because it's true.
Because we can talk about FanFest because that's a whole.
Oh yeah,
that's a whole nother kettle of fish.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up. That's how bad I am. NA FanFest tickets supposedly went out. I say supposedly because so many people that I know who want to go aren't going because they didn't get an email. So yeah, congratulations that those are going. I hope you do have fun. I will not be going to NA FanFest this year, which sucks because I always enjoy going to NA. But I will not be participating in the NA FanFest this time. Did you apply roegamaniac and did you get any luck?
All right, so I applied. I didn't get anything at all, and I know a lot of people applied and didn't get anything.
It's like it gives you that feeling again when you like send that message to that one girl or like your crush in like school, and you just get put on scene. You just get ghosted. That's how that would feel. I hope
we all got ghosted by Square.
Yeah, we just all get ghosted by Square. Is it poorly done? Yeah. I think they should just set out codes to everyone, but
So
Wobsy didn't even apply. Sorry, Wobsy didn't even apply. Boo earns. You had to enter your account, I think. Yeah, I had to log in.
I mean, you can apply for the general tickets. I think it's next week.
Well, EU tickets, our emails haven't been sent out yet for even 15th. If we're in yet. We found out till the 15th. So
that is if they don't region lock it too.
Oh no, yeah, it's region locked, but Wobsy's from the UK as well. So
okay.
Yeah, we're region locked. We had we submitted our lottery, but we won't find our lottery results until the 15th. So.
Oh boy. So the other problem with the whole fan fest is that you get a link, and in that link you put all your information. So scalpers are gonna get away with it. So at the beginning, people thought, okay, so they're gonna give you you had to sign up with your account information and whatnot, so it can be very anti-scalper. But it turned out that no, it wasn't that. That's just a link, and we're already seeing how people are posting FanFest tickets for more than $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prices are insane for some of them. Please don't scalp things. If you're not getting able to go, like if let's just say I get the ticket, I find out I can't afford to go. I'm not going to scalp it. I'm going to see if I can give it to a friend if they didn't get a ticket, and hopefully they can go in my place.
No, there are a lot of malicious people out there just trying to make money.
Yeah.
No. You have to remember, Chili, that like you think the world is kind-hearted. Oh shit, it's not. People will.
Oh no,
just get into it just to sell it again.
I just want to try to be kind-hearted, so there's at least a few people that are out there that are kind-hearted, even though the people that aren't will try and scam me because of it. But still, I'm going to hope. But I am going. If I'm getting my ticket, I am going, and I'm going to go up to Yoshi P and I'm going to wear my poop hat. I'm going to go, remember me? Yes, I will clarify. When I got my media tour interview, I did indeed join Zoom with the heads of Square Enix, Koji Fox, and all that lot. And I'm sat there with my poop hat on because I'm not afraid of anything.
Those are the people I want to meet one day. JP and Koji Fox.
So anyway,
I am very worried about FanFest because obviously we have not finished this this expansion yet. Yeah, like when it comes to that story of the Highlanders, but the preview arc of getting up to the next expansion, we haven't finished yet. That FanFest is getting closer and closer. Definitely the American FanFest. It's getting closer and closer. The UK one is not until October, if I remember correctly. Yeah, October 24th and that. So I am very worried of what they're going to show. It's probably just going to be a new job or whatever. But I'm still kind of worried.
Your thoughts, roegamaniac, before I say anything about this?
About what? Sorry.
What do you think they'll show at FanFest?
Okay, well, so I was just thinking about that, right? That's why I said I got lost there for a moment. So I was just thinking, they're gonna show at least 2 new jobs. I think they're going through that route, 2 jobs every expansion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the new job is gonna be, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be related to Final Fantasy 16. Probably a job that uses, like mixes tanking but long range. I don't know. I think it's time that we get another range DPS. We haven't had a range DPS since Dancer, but I mean range caster DPS. We haven't had one since forever. And that I'm expecting a 7.0 showcase where they're gonna show us a new Warrior Light and show us the new graphical enhancements and hopefully improvements to the code of the game, the whole spaghetti code. Vieras can finally wear hats and Rothgars.
Oh, pray that will be the day. We pray.
Oh, I almost forgot. Female Rothgars. They gotta get those.
Yeah, we'll probably see a lot of that, I think. I don't think we'll see a female Hrothgar at NA FanFest. I feel like they're going to hold that back for some reason, even though they should just show it off. But yeah, I feel like because we're not going to get I don't think like the story trailer is going to be anything towards the expansion because we don't know what's going to happen yet.
That's going to be JP. You already know it's going to be in JP FanFest.
Yeah, so my thought is we're probably just going to see... no, I don't think it's going to be EU. I think it's going to be Tokyo Game Show. No, I think it's going to be a Japanese FanFest, Wobsy, that we'll find anything about the story.
No, I think I think he means for Ephemeral Hrothgar, so I'd probably think about Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, Tokyo Game... No, EU FanFest probably, because I don't know. We'll see. Probably EU FanFest, if anything. So... But no, for anyone, I keep saying this, I'm going to keep saying this until it happens. I think we're going to get a new scouting-based job because that's the only job that doesn't share gear with anyone right now.
That is true.
That's true.
So,
I think Mamie wants the other one, and now they got Reaper.
Yeah.
So you think it's going to be a double DPS job?
No, I think we're going to get a tank and a DPS.
Another tank, so we're going to have like 5 tanks that still do the same thing?
Well, it's either that or another healer. No,
I think it'll be 2 DPS.
I don't think we're going to get 2 DPS because you always want a tank or a healer. So
The Stormblood was 2 DPS, right?
Yeah, Samurai and Red Mage. Right?
And the Shadowbringers as well, right? No, Shadowbringer was Gunbreaker.
Gunbreaker and Dancer.
what would... I can't remember what the jobs were in Stormblood. Let me
Google.
Yeah, Samurai and Red Mage, you're right, 2 DPS. So yeah, there's a chance we could get 2 DPS.
Yeah, it might even be a range caster and a melee scouting melee.
Because we are also missing 1 range caster, right? Because we've got So
like range casters, we only have like what 3.
Red Mage, Summoner, and Black Mage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need 1 more.
So it would be Summoner-esque, I guess, because they tried to split them up, right? In the other jobs got split. So
Is dice and cards? Yeah, but you have to remember they did say that it's not going to be anything from other Final Fantasies. So
yeah, but
Jester maybe, because I don't think there is a Jester in Final Fantasy.
The closest is Corsair in Final Fantasy 11, which is dice and cards.
Yeah, so it could be like just Gambler or Jester.
We do have a Corsair, which is Merwip.
Yeah, that is true. And Corsair was in the 1.0 data, if I'm rightly.
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah, it was a job that wasn't added. Like they had a guild and everything. So
yeah, and 1.0 used a lot of things from 11.
By the way, I'll be getting back to 11 soon, so please look forward to more of those streams. And for that person that keeps coming in to insult me, I'll see you then. I'll see you again. I'm seriously, this person keeps making new Twitch accounts just to insult me. And then I ban them, and then the next day they make a new account. So, I'll see you next time I stream, maybe. Unless you decide to give up.
I do know one thing that I think they might show at American Fan Fest, and that is the reworks for Dragoon and Astrologian.
And Paladin.
Don't bring me into this. Ruin their lives first. I mean, Happy Paladin got a little rework. It feels nice. Leave it there.
Remember when I leaked those by accident?
Yeah. They'll be reworking Astral by removing it from the game and then bringing in a new class. Yeah.
It wouldn't be an expansion without an Astro rework, though, right? Because I think nearly every expansion has had an Astro rework.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's astronomical.
Now Astro Magan.
Like how cards you apply it to people. To be fair, I think they're just going to cut the cards altogether.
No. Okay, they shouldn't do that. I don't know all the systems, but I do have one idea I want them to do with Astrologian. Like, you got your draw ability, and then you got the undraw where you throw away a card, right?
Yeah.
I want the undraw ability to be a DPS move where you literally throw the card at the enemy.
Yeah, that would be good. Because, yeah.
Okay, have it be a really low DPS so it's not meta to do it, so it's better to still give everyone cards. But if you pull a card that you don't want to use, then it's not wasteful to undraw. Instead, you undraw, throw them at the enemy.
Yeah, and it does dot damage.
Yeah.
Bleed damage.
Make it like a 50-second dot or something that's insane. So that way you don't want to spam it because it'll be a DPS decrease.
Yeah. And have the ability called paper cut.
Status effect paper cut.
You know what I would actually like to see? If they bring a druid-like class to Final Fantasy. Now, to be fair, I've been kind of getting on this druid thing because I've been playing D&D and I've just started playing a druid in D&D. But I would like to see that. I would like to see them make a druid class when it comes to like shape-shifting. Your character shape-shift into like a cat or something. I think that would be pretty cool.
I was going to say, druid class,
really
isn't that just white mage, but with extra steps?
No.
Because white mage is all about using earth magic and
and
nature.
The power of nature.
It does! Then you've not paid the story.
Magic.
If you never pay the attention to the white mage storyline, that's the whole point of it.
Priest is a glorified priest.
Sorry, roegamaniac.
Without the BS.
That I can see druid But with the spaghetti code this game has, having a shapeshifter, it's gonna be difficult. Not
Oh,
impossible.
it's going to be difficult. Yeah. I would like to see that, though.
And plus, do they scale? Like, if I'm a Lalafell druid, do I turn into a baby bear when I transform?
Yes. You turn into
Yes.
a cub.
Or you
It
turn
looks
into a
like
big
mouse.
bear. I mean,
Why does not?
you said that, and it reminded me of Vox Machina. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
So there's a character, a gnome, who turns into a bear. It's a pretty big bear. So who knows?
I mean, see, they could do. Then again, I have also been watching freaking Diablo 4 stuff, and they have a druid in that too. Which the some early access beta is this month. So
And if you live in America, you can eat a delicious KFC to get into the Diablo 4 beta.
Yes, get a heart attack to play the beta.
get a heart attack to play a game.
Worth it.
Now you're gaming.
I'll be honest,
no,
it's compared to some events, just eating the KFC is probably not that bad compared to like Korea, where you had to eat like that massive amount of KFC, wasn't it? Where it was like this huge, like you had to eat like a family feast on your own.
Jesus.
Oh, that's easy.
So
hold my
one
beer.
really unhealthy burger is slightly okay. Yeah, the double down, which we still don't have here.
Gunbreaker special, the double down. I like that. That's actually a good one. I don't know, like FanFest. I want to go because I've never been to a FanFest, and I want to see people. I want to see like some of the Whiskerers if they're going. Like if Mioni's going, hopefully Mioni can get in. You know, see Chili again. You know.
Hopefully Tibian is trying to go as well.
Yeah, and Tibian, because I've never met Tibian at all, ever, in a lifetime. I still want to meet Wobbsy, but because we were in his neck of the woods, was in the Brummy land, but he never made an appearance.
Booans!
But I also think he was like really ill. I think it was shingles the last time I remember, because we was talking about that back then, where we was going to go to a con. But again, next month I'm going to. I think I had shingles then. Let's see. My memory's so good. But next month is our 7th year anniversary, and I'm actually going to a concert. So in London. So it's pretty cool. So I'm happy.
Which I thought you were saying wrong, but then I found out it's another band.
Yeah, it's a Christian rock band called Skillet.
Yeah, I thought this entire time you just meant Skrillex.
So I just like saved up some of the money I've been getting for doing like chores and shit, and then I'm just going with some friends. So yeah,
Looks like you got some Skillet fans in the chat.
I'm glad to know they're still alive.
Wow.
Snark says, I saw them at my tiny fairground when they were teenagers. So, Final Fantasy 14, everyone. Patch 6.35 dropped. There's some good things. There's some bad things. And just like this, it's going to be kind of short. What terrible things?
See what you did there?
I don't know if there's any terrible things. What terrible things? I didn't think there was anything terrible.
I mean, the one thing that I saw on Twitter from you, Chili, apparently was
I
terrible.
mean, that's terrible for me, but I understand why some people don't like it. Roegamaniac, what's terrible then?
Where can I begin? So the lifter. Let's talk about the lifter.
The lifter.
I kind of feel bad for all the Lalafells out there, because in Primal, there's this group of people who dress up as Mr. Face, a character from Demo Max Strong. He was very upset that they added this because those type of people are gonna use it to harass Lalafell players. Imagine you being a brand new player and you're a Lalafell and you get traded that lifter. How you gonna feel, right? I do understand that some of the reactions regarding this on Twitter was a little bit too much. Even in the forum, they were a bit too much. But I kind of understand why they're getting so mad. And people forget, they also got mad when the Auras got the lamp. And because they didn't care about getting the cat thing. but the others would get mad when they get the lamp. Because I remember one or two people who were playing Odas, they're saying, "I'm not a lizard, I'm a dragon." It's like that's the same thing, dude.
It's true.
And I guess
But yeah,
the
as someone that plays a character called Daddy Chili, I don't see my character as a child at all. Like, it's... I am not a child, and there is... I don't hate the item in its actual existence, because guess what? Children Lalafell do exist, children Aura do exist, children Hers exist. Where do you think the adults came from? They had to be children at one point. The lifter idea, not too bad. It's okay. But if they'd named it something else, like, just call it a high stool. Just call it that. Or a lift, and then in the description, reference, like, just say this chair allows people to reach stuff that they're not normally able to reach on tables. It helps the smaller races reach up. This chair is often used by Lalafell. I think that would be okay.
I think my biggest criticism is the description,
Yeah.
not the name itself. I think the description is very I know the joke you're trying to make, but at the same time, it's not that good. But that's just me. But there are weirdos out there, and I've seen them on Twitter, who fantasize about Lalafells being children. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Wait, don't
Given
do
this
that.
thing, yeah. So I think that was one of the worst things. The rest of the patch, I haven't touched the new Palace of the Dead thing. I haven't touched it. I know people are having fun with it. And what else was that? I can't even remember.
Well, of course you can't remember, because it was just like my love life, 5 seconds.
Exactly.
The relic weapon.
The relic weapon. Oh yes, that's another thing. Oh,
You say
boy.
that's not a thing? Oh, God,
No,
it's
that's
not that.
that's another thing.
Well, to be fair, it felt like not a thing. Again,
All right,
like my
so-
love life.
So in the beginning, I was a little bit upset because it wasn't like a boss or anything like that. Then I thought, hey, wait a second. This is only the second step. The third and final steps are gonna be a nightmare. Then, if it's this easy, it's gonna be a nightmare.
It's annoying because, okay, I'm going to make my little rant here. Now, it's hard to say this without some people being annoyed, but relic weapon is designed to be a piece of content that is supposed to take a little bit of time to grind. Because for those that are hardcore, you have your ultimate raids. For those that are mid-core to hardcore, you've got your savage raids and your extremes. I don't classify Savage as extremely hardcore, because in my opinion, if you just want to have some fun with Savage and you find a group of friends, it's difficult, but if you're not rushing to beat it, most people will be able to beat it in time if you have the patience and you find a friend group that you're not even doing it to do Savage. You're doing it so that you can have something to do with friends once a week, twice a week. I would consider Savage as mid to hardcore, depending on how you view the content. Like, if you want to go straight in, beat it first few weeks, then it's hardcore. If you want to take your time as a piece of content to enjoy with friends, and I'm not saying that you're not hitting it hardcore still there, but you're taking your time, you're enjoying the content, you're savoring it, in a way. And then I consider Savage as mid to hardcore, but relic weapon is designed for the casual person to log in a couple of times in a week and then have a bit of a grind so that they've got content that will last them from the 0.5 patch to the 0.0 patch. So they've got something they can do in the background over time. That's the whole point of it. It's just to, I got an item here. Oh, I got an item here, until you eventually get your relic weapon. But by just making it cost tomes, yeah, sure, you still got a little bit of grind to get the tomes, but I just feel like it's not fun. Yay! I got this cool weapon and it cost me 3,000 tomes. Yay! I accomplished so much. I will add one thing. I don't mind if they make the tome cost the second weapon you get. Like, make the first one a bit of a grind, but if you're going to level up other jobs and you want to use it on other jobs, then have the repeatable quest be a tome grind. I actually know it. Make the NPCs sell the items that you grinded from the first time as tome costs, so that any future any weapons you want after the first one you can just buy. I think that's a good solution. That's just me. Thoughts?
I
think
still
we-
think. Oh, sorry. You go first.
No, you go for it. Go right. I talked to
No. You go first. Guess it's courtesy, you know.
All right. I think that I feel the same way as you, Jilly, but I'm also thinking this is the second step. If by the third step is just as easy, I'm just gonna be like, well, there's nothing to expect for the next final step. It's gonna be just a mindless grind. That's it. There's no fair, no fanfare. There's nothing. There's no Bacha or Rika or doing like the anima weapons or doing books from the AR era. So if it's gonna be this simple, why even? I don't want to say why even bother, but it kind of undermines when people do savages or extremes to get their weapons to be like to have the best in slot. Then you give them a free weapon, basically a free weapon that's almost on par. So I'm really hoping that the next 2 or 3 steps a little bit more convoluted and a little more grindy, but at the same time, you gotta be careful what you wish for because you may just get it, you may not like it.
No, give me the grind, brother. Give me the grind. Well, for most people, that'd be okay. But as a content creator, that's stream content.
Oh yeah,
free stream content.
I still think they did. Heaven's Ward relics are still the best relics, hands down.
They are.
They had the content you can do in like different ways. Some stuff you could get different ways. They were a nice long grind and I must say, very satisfying steps of the weapon look. The weapons look good going throughout all of it. And the last step was just absolutely great. Meant to be in the style of Heaven's Ward relics. Well, apparently it's not looking that way. If all I've got to do is do some tomes. The only hard thing about the actual getting to that relic part is doing the Hildebrand story. And for some people that didn't do the Hildebrand series when the Hildebrand series first came out, like me, you kind of just like, now I've got to do this whole storyline. Yes, it's a good storyline, but I still got to do all of that just to get a relic weapon. And not even a good one at this point, as you're sitting there, listening to it.
I mean, stat-wise, it's pretty good because it's better than my current weapon because I haven't beaten P7S. So, yeah, here's your P. Do the Hildebrand quest. I am no longer asking. Remember that optional content? Yeah, it's not optional anymore. Go do it. Do it now.
Yeah.
And if you skip the cutscenes for the Hildebrand, it's like 10 to 8 hours. Like just, or maybe less. They can just finish. Actually, it should be like 4 hours to finish the entire Hildebrand.
Yeah, it's not long, but I liked it as side content. Like I could go off it and do it a little bit if I felt like it. But now it's like, if you want to do this relic, you have to do it. All right then.
Hopefully, it's the last time he does something like this.
Well, I was hoping they were going to learn from what Heaven's Ward did. I know that Heaven's Ward did the relics great, and then we started going into this Eureka and all that. It was a good idea because it was basically taking the fate part of the relic and pushing it into a new cool area that looked cool. And had like all these, like Boja was fun. I liked going around and then doing these dungeons and stuff. But what relics really need to do is what Heaven's Ward did. They made you do other content, other areas of the content of the game, like older content. They grabbed in some older content. Oh, go run this to get some light. Go run that, that old dungeon to do it. But now they're not. Even though they've changed a bunch of the old dungeons to be more up to date and a little bit more, cooler, that you're not going to see them because nobody levels from level 1 no more. They'll just buy a skip.
It's true. One thing, I think the reason why they added Eureka was that during that time, like after Heaven's Word, there were a lot of people demanding content that was similar to Final Fantasy 11 in terms of,
like me,
yeah. They wanted a content very similar. That was kind of not that hard, but you had to group up with people to get far and hunt down notorious monsters in Eureka. And we see a lot in Final Fantasy 11 stuff in Eureka because people demanded that. And Eureka, I guess, was a success. So they tried to do something similar with Bosnia. Bosnia has a fantastic story, but man, after you do the first relic and you want to do the other ones, it becomes more of a chore, not as fun. And I think I love Bosnia, but I think the biggest problem is that it wasn't future proofed. No one does Bosnia unless you do like a party with other people. And Bosnia is a great place to level up alternate characters from 81 to 90. So they kind of dropped the ball with Bosnia. Even though I love it, I still think they could have done better. And Bosnia, I still remember the nightmare that was doing Delirium, and the other one I can't remember. We had to wait so long for the raid dungeons to spawn. Yeah,
but they were cool though. That's the thing. Yeah, the wait was annoying, but they were cool. They were probably like one of the most best content they did with Bosnia. I was like, that was cool. Okay, I enjoyed that. But now
and giving you customized skills that made you like godlike was even better.
Yeah, that's hands down better. But like, if they kind of implement that with the Heavensward relic, where okay, now I've done that, now I need to go do something older. Now I need to go run a couple of maps to get some pieces for my, like you did in the Heavensward one. You could run maps to get some of the ores, you needed. Like, an ore dropped. Who needs that for this relic? And then give it. That was fun. Or doing Levy Quest. Who remembers Levy Quest? Not the Levy Quest you did just to get an achievement of getting 10 mil, and then they get nerfed the next day of doing cookies and getting money for it. No, it was, it was you had to see if a chest spawned, and it's like, it's a chest spawned to get an amber. Nope. Okay, no, cancelled. Get the next one.
I remember that. Yeah, that was in just outside Adashar, right? I can't remember the zone name, but
right outside of Adashar. Yeah, that was good because that was a grind. You could get it so many different ways, but also making you group up with people. Like sometimes I like to be a loner. Yes, I do have friends I can play with and all that. And I like to be a loner. I like to just do a grind on my own, sit there watch a YouTube video and just grind away on my own. But no, I had to join people and go around do fates that I didn't understand properly because it wasn't, it wasn't good. The only good parts were the big dungeons of Bosnia.
They can also use the old beast tribes and you gotta be Bloodsworn with all the beast tribes so you can get one item for your relic weapon.
Yeah.
They've got Criterion dungeons right there. Just want to add that.
Oh my god, Criterion dungeons. I forgot Criterion dungeons was even a thing. That's how bad it was.
They could have added something at the end of the story version of the dungeon, and then increased maybe give 2 items at the end of the hard version. It's right. There you go, Square. Done. Yeah, dead on arrival. But that's only because they added nothing to it that nobody wanted except for a mount. But they could have added the relic to Criterion Dungeon as part of the step. So
exactly, it should have been. They could have done so many things with Criterion, and they dropped the ball with that one massively.
I think the only reason they've dropped the ball is that gearing is so one-dimensional. It's literally just farm tomes, get gear. There's no or crafted gear. They are the only 2 ways to get gear. The only 2 ways. Put some stuff into PvP, get some PvP gear. I can grind some PvP. Or I can go do maps, or I can go do Criteria Dungeons to get some gear. They don't care about different ways to gear and different content you can do to gear up. It's always just one-dimensional. Just
if they care about gear, the new raid with Nofika and the other gods, the gear should have been the same item level as a Savage tier.
Yeah.
There's no reason why that gear should be so low that crafted gear is still better than it.
Yeah, but then they just call it, it's catch-up gear. So the people that don't have money, it's catch-up gear.
Yeah, you know what should be catch-up gear? It should be the same eye level, not as the upgraded tome, but as the standard tome, because then you're catching up with the standard tome. Mm-hmm. That's catch-up gear.
And it's not even standard.
No. Oh. Hey, so you talk about PvP gear, though. I'm now sat here and having flashbacks to... look, I am very old, and I've played this game for a long time. A very long time. And though I don't do PvP much because I'm not that good at it, I remember back in my day where PvP had its own stats and own gear.
It did. Yes, it did.
I remember too.
You
I remember
had,
those days.
yeah, Shaky Kane. You had PvP gear and what was funny, if I'm right, it became a meta to not actually use the PvP gear because the PvP gear wasn't that good, but instead it was to use the level 30, like the level 30 equivalent gear because you got more stats from that, right? Because the PvP gear was 40, which meant that if you melded it, you didn't get your stats. Because spoilers, if you meld gear, you don't get the materia stats when you sink down. It's why when you do ultimate, it's better to use equivalent level at that gear. It's better to use 60 gear at 60 than it is to use 90 gear or whatever. Oh man, yeah, chili, yeah, on the plan. Grab out, you need the applesauce and pills at this time of the morning. Yes.
It's like I get the game is they are focusing way too much on story and not into actual like content.
I'd argue they're not even doing that.
Yeah,
I have a tinfoil theory.
Okay, tell us your game theory.
Well, my game theory is since they split up the team to work with Final Fantasy 16, the content in 14 has been drastically affected since I would say the last two patches of Shadowbringers. Like story-wise, fantastic, amazing. But when it comes to actual content of the game that's supposed to like be rewarding, it's been really lacking. When you compare it to the beginning of Shadowbringers, before the next 5.2, 5.3, etc., there was still a lot of content you can do. There was a lot of things. It was very rewarding. In Walker, it feels like they got all these amazing ideas, but they're failing to execute it well. And my theory is that since they had to split the teams, that's so much workload that they had to do that it's affecting 14 more than it is 16 because they want 16 to succeed. And I think that game's gonna sell like hotcakes.
Obviously, it is.
I don't also.
It will sell.
I also don't. I think it's not also the. Okay, I think the 16 thing it affected it a little bit because, of course, it did. You know, that's not a conspiracy. You're gonna companies move people over for more active projects, and it's their main project for the year. So, of course, they probably moved a couple of people over from 14 to 16. I don't expect a huge amount, but even moving a couple of people on a team like this because they're not. You gotta remember, the Fantasy 14 team isn't as big as people think it is. Like, I think it's like 100 people, isn't it? Maybe less than that for patch content. It's not like they've got a huge, massive team like they do the expansions.
No,
because spoilers,
they don't have,
and not Blizzard.
They don't have a big team, and that's another problem. And I blame Square Enix, not Yoshi P, because I'm pretty sure Yoshi P is trying his best.
Well, no,
to buy the workload. So
I think they're focused because they talked about the graphical update. I think they overhyped it so much that that's what's causing the issue is that they're so busy working on the new graphical update system for 7.0, and that's what's pushing some of the dev time away.
Yeah, and the other thing is that Square Enix doesn't care for their game. They just wanna. This is a hard truth that we have to swallow. They don't care for the games. They just care about how much money they're gonna make this at the end of the quarter to please our shareholder overlords. And they tried to do the whole NFT thing, and which was a terrible idea. I'm glad that the president is gone. I don't know if the new guy is better or not.
Well, spoilers. The new guy was into metaverses, so.
Oh, that's even fantastic.
Oh, great. Oh, my dreams have been dashed again.
But to be fair, that's not all bad. Like,
there are some benefits.
Metaverses were a thing before they were called metaverses. You know, yeah.
Yeah, Web3 things, they're not inherently bad. It's the people that use them to scam others, among other things. I think if you do a proper implementation of Web3 video games, it could be something fantastic. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I think the problem with Final Fantasy 14 is not with developers, but with Square Enix itself not giving the proper budget that this game deserves. So we're gonna
and they've got a bit. By the way, they do have a bigger budget now than they did before. But remember that they got this bigger budget because of Shadowbringers, which means that although they got the bigger budget at the end of Shadowbringers, there's no way they can afford to put. They didn't have the actual money. It's like Square going up. Look, you've got an extra 10 million. I don't know how much money you have, but I'm just giving a random figure out of the top of my head. You got an extra $10 million, but they won't have it till this year. So there was no way they could use the money for this expansion. So hopefully they're going to use the bigger budget for, what was the name I gave it? Rain Blood or something like that. There's a Discord message on Maelstrom Radio where I named the next expansion, and I can't remember what it was called now. So yeah. So as we're gonna wrap, carry on.
Yeah, sorry. One last thing I was gonna say about the whole thing is that despite all the issues and problems that this game has, despite the lack of actual content, I mean, there's a lot of content in the game to do, right? Old content that a lot of people haven't done yet. There's treasure hunts and whatnot, right? But when it comes to brand new content that doesn't feel rewarding, that's an issue. But despite all the problems this game has, it's still a solid game and it's still fantastic. I still log in every day to do my sanctuaries or just to talk to people and do the dungeon runs. Like, the game's still fun. They haven't ruined that experience yet. I do preface saying yet. And I don't think they're going to do that anytime soon, to be honest. And even though we have experienced some content drought, I think the game's still in a good position compared to many other MMOs, right? And the good thing about this game is that UCP said, if you want to take a break, go ahead. The game's still going to be there. You can catch up quickly.
Not in Europe, Snark, because we never got original Parasite either, if I remember rightly. So, as we wrap this episode of the podcast up, I do want to bring up one thing. I had this idea before, and then Maelstrom Radio did it, and then I thought I'm going to steal it anyway. So, I know everyone's heard of this new thing called AI recently. We've all heard of it, right?
I've never heard of it before in my life.
So, I decided to ask ChatGPT, have you ever heard of the podcast Moogle Go Rounad Radio, which you listen to right now? So they responded with, yes, Moogle Go Rounad Radio is a Final Fantasy XIV podcast that discusses the latest news and events in the game. It is hosted by a group, sweet Paul, we're a group now of 2, of dedicated Final Fantasy XIV players who share their experiences, opinions, insights about the game. The podcast covers a wide range of topics related to 14, including game mechanics, lore, music, and more. It's a great resource for anyone who plays the game and wants to stay up to date on the latest developments. So, ChatGPT says we cover lore and game mechanics.
Well, that's a lie because we just get people to come on the show to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
One thing I don't know about lore, it's that a lot of the Final Fantasy patches and stories that are in Final Fantasy do reference older Final Fantasies, which I never played. Again, my first Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy 13. If they start bringing Final Fantasy 13 stuff in, then yeah, I'll get it. But yeah, no, I'm not. Hey, if anyone wants to, I don't know, donate me the pixel things, I'll sit there and play them. But until that happens, I'm not, because I won't. I ain't got the money for that. Man's got to live. Mechanics, I don't know about mechanics.
Yeah, but don't ask me to do mechanics, because anyone who's watched me do mechanics on stream, you understand that I just scream, "Watch out! Oh no, there's the deadly bacon! Oh no, there's fire!" So,
I had no idea what mechanics are.
Yeah. So, and another thing, I'm not going to go through it. I then asked it, could you write an episode of Moogle Go Rounad Radio? And he said an example of what a Moogle Go Rounad Radio episode started. I'm not going to say all of it because that might do it as an actual episode for a laugh. But we'll do the intro. First thing, it starts with theme music plays. Now, anyone that's listened to us for 164 episodes know that we still don't have a theme music. So, ChatGPT is adding theme music to Moogle Go Rounad Radio that we don't have yet. So thank you, Chat AI Master. Anyway, host 1, welcome to Moogle Go Rounad Radio, weekly dose of all things Final Fantasy 14. For one thing, we're not weekly, but we're back, I guess it should say that. I'm your host, Name, and I'm joined by my co-host, Name and Name. Again, there's only 2 of us. So who's the third one? Who is the mystery third person that we've had on this? AI has gone back in time to throw itself onto 164 episodes of Moogle Go Rounad now. So this is a story about how my life got twisted upside down as AI took over Moogle Go Rounad.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
So,
Classic.
on that note, roegamaniac, have you got any shout outs and where can people find you? And are you going to go back to streaming at some point? Because I know you streamed at one point when you had some time.
Okay, so about streaming, right now, because of my workload, no spoilers about my personal life. They fire everyone at chat side. I'm the only guy left, so I have a lot of workload. So I don't know if I'm gonna stream anytime soon. Maybe on, but you can always find me on Twitter at roegamaniac. I'm always there. I'm always posting, being very critical at society who hates people. But beyond that, I'm always very positive. If you're feeling kind of down, you might find a post of mine trying to cheer you.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you've had fun.
Thank you
Paul,
for inviting me.
I guess we'll be back in 2 weeks,
Yeah, I guess.
where we will be talking about Deep Dungeon. We'll be going in depth with the new Deep Dungeon in 2 weeks.
Actually, I have to do it.
Yeah, you do.
Oh no, yeah, great.
We're only going to talk about the first 30 floors, so just do the first 30 floors.
Oh no, no. If we're talking about Deep Dungeon, we need to go all the way to the top.
Okay.
About those 30 floors. We're going all the way,
What-
baby.
Well, we'll try to get all 100 floors covered then, but the first 30 floors are the most important. Yeah, we're going to deep floor analysis and deep dive. Dungeon words, deep dive, dungeon dive.
Dodge and dodge. We can dodge
Yeah,
it.
if you can dodge a deep dungeon, you can dodge a deep... I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. But no. Join us in 2 weeks, though, with Rook and Fusion X. They will be joining us for the episode before the anniversary. Yes, anniversary is next month. Remember, please send us an email at Moogle Go Rounad Radio if you want to appear on the show with an audio file of your thoughts on Moogle Go Rounad Radio. Send it over to mooglegorounadradio@gmail.com. Hopefully send this before the end of March if possible. Thank you, please. You'll be used as part of the... You'll be put on the... You'll be put on the... on something for the anniversary.
You shall be used to make us money. How's it?
Deep Fake Dungeon, we're getting AI. So send it by the end of March, early April if possible. Please. Thank you. So yeah, please look forward to the 7th anniversary. And look forward to the next episode as well, because I'm looking forward to Rook.
Episode as well. Yeah, we are having the most famous chess piece of any chessboard, the Rook.
Yeah.
And they can only go diagonal from here, so hopefully they take us to the top diagonally.
Unless the AI is playing. I don't know if you've watched that video of the AI play chess.
I faced the AI in chess. Fuck the AI.
It's so... Chat GPT versus an AI chess. It was so good and so bad. The chat was making its own rules. Like, it was making its own rules as it played. Like, it was bringing in stuff that didn't exist. Like, the bot would be like, D3 to D4, and then it's like, a pawn appears. It was Yu-Gi-Oh! It was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Version of chess.
Yes, policeman to
Fantastic.
R5.
Like, I think it took its own queen at one point just to make another queen spawn somewhere else.
Do you had another queen here?
It was so bad and so great.
I just gotta say one thing about AIs. People keep using AIs, and it's like, have you guys seen Terminator 2?
Yeah, bro, you should Terminator. Don't get these too much. I read something on Twitter about fucking like, oh, we just subtracted the zombie virus from 48,000 years ago, and I'm like, bro, please fuck off with that shit. I don't want.
So on that news, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
I don't want rogue AIs trying to kill me. You go.
I mean,
just leave them where they've been.
On that note,
YouTubers, they can't hurt us. At least they look
or PNG tubers like Jeff are great PNG tube. Anyway, on that note, see you all in 2 weeks. We're going to end the podcast here. And this is where we'd have a theme music if we had one, but we don't. So until then, bye.
Bye, brother.
It's 3 a.m. Get out
Boop,
of
boop,
bed.
boop.
Get out of bed.